Welcome to the walkthrough for the MC Broken Ankle 12-hour trail race from Dirty Wolf Ultras. Takes place in Gastonia, North Carolina's George Poston Park from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturday, February 8th of this year, 2020. I'm Adam 12. I'll be competing in this thing. This comprises the Soccer Loop and Spencer Mountain loops of the park, done in that order for 12 hours. A 3-mile loop. The race, actually starts about 150 yards behind where the video started at the opposite end of the parking lot. That'll be your start and finish, and only aid station, by the way. I think you'll find this is a good first ultra. Not a whole lot of shaking of the camera here, but just about enough to make it interesting. The course is really quite smooth and pretty free of obstacles, stuff that you really don't want to be there. Hard right, thanks to that guy right there, Crazy Uncle Dave Griffin from the Ultra Running Company in Charlotte, North Carolina, with whom I did this walk. You're seeing it at double speed right now. This is the slowest it'll be the whole time. Dave and I figured the elevation change is about 1,000 feet of ascent and descent for every 8 miles. So it's manageable. Not easy, but manageable. Trail shoes are a must for this race, by the way. This park really knows how to retain mud. Get any kind of decent rain within 3-4 days of race day, you're going to feel it. And see it in most cases. Now, if you want to go check this course out yourself before the course is marked, you follow blue to yellow to blue. In simplest terms, that's how you put it. Blue for Soccer Loop, yellow for Spencer Mountain Loop, and then back to blue. I'll point out the crossovers as we get to them. So I want to let you know before I get too far into this that I am actually running this race to raise money for a charity. It's an organization called the Move for Gen Foundation. It's based nearby Charlotte, North Carolina. And what they do is they raise money so they can donate prosthetic active wear limbs to those who've lost their own limbs to sarcoma amputation. So you can go to moveforgen.org. That's moveforgen with 2 N's.org. Or you'll find a link on my podcast Facebook page. It's the Pushing 50 podcast. That big hill is not part of this course, but amazing to look at as you go by. Now we're about to go around to the right, keeping those cones on the left. Some people came by here, so I had to jump ahead to this point. And then here, as you saw in those arrows, hard right. That's the entrance to the Spencer Mountain Loop. You'll be coming back the other way, as if you had just gone straight at that point. With upwards of 125 people as of this recording signed up for this race, things in the first few laps will be tight around this point. But again, you've got runoff and running room aplenty throughout the entire course. As we make a hard left, I'll just show you what not to fall into. It's easy to avoid that. You don't go in there. Probably not a bad place if you need to take a nap, though. People will see you. Deja Vu Climb is really more of an incline. There are tougher, but not much tougher, actual climbs on this race that you will feel. This is not one of them. And you'll see the Deja Vu Climb, such that it is very well named before you get to the word climb. All right, coming up here to the once per lap moment of confusion that gives the Deja Vu Climb its name. On each lap, you are going to do this twice, the Deja Vu Climb. First time by, you go to the right. I had to jump ahead there, sorry about that, but people came along. I don't film people without their permission, at least not as they're coming towards me. So at that moment of the truth, you go to the right the first time. Lots of nice bumpy downhill between Deja Vu climbs. To do each of these laps at what you might call race speed, the middle of the pack kind of race speed, it took Dave and I about 33 minutes. So 11 minutes per mile, give or take. All right, if you were paying attention the first time through, this will look familiar to you. Deja vu climb, second time by. I'm going to let this one just keep going at this speed so you can familiarize yourself with the look of it. Not going to fast forward here because familiarity pays off, especially with a race that could start and end in darkness. And oh, by the way, bring a headlamp with you. You might not even need it, but even the best of us sometimes after 5-6 hours out here look at that climb like, is this my first or the second time by on this lap? Less chance of that confusion, if you just look at it at the same speed, I figure. Swing around to the right, you see the same decision you faced the first time. Just got to remember, this time it's your second time by. So you go straight down the hill. This, when it's muddy, is not pleasant, but not perilous either. So there'll be food, water, and Tailwind energy drink, the caffeinated energy drink, at that one aid station, which again is at the start and end of each lap. Anything that could be called a meal, though, as well as any of your own favorites, make sure you bring that stuff yourself. Now this boulder here marks the start of the major climb of the course. Ain't super steep, certainly doesn't look it here, but this is what your quads are going to feel. It goes on for quite some time, and it's also not pleasant underfoot. So this is what you want to save your energy for. Roundabout here be a good time for you to think about the cool medal you get if you finish this race. Dirty Wolf Ultras has some really nice medals. Not buckles, more medallions, clay pottery type stuff. You'll see them. And now we're approaching the end of the Spencer Mountain Loop, about to dump back onto the soccer loop. So going from yellow back to blue markings. You came through the opposite way getting onto the Spencer Mountain Loop. This time you make a hard left. And speaking of hard, this part is hard underfoot. Plenty of running room. Looks nice and clean. It's not. It slopes. It's rutted from the right to the left, up to downhill. So, hip killer if you're not careful. That fence on your left is a dog park, and a big one. There'll be lots of dogs wanting to chase you or saying hi to you. Lots of running room, plenty of straights within these switchbacks. Anytime you lose other parts of the course, you can make up here. And that same thing goes for most of the course. You lose time pretty much anywhere, you can make it up pretty much anywhere. It's part of what makes this a good first ultra. You're going to want to slow down here, not because of this bridge, the only one on the course, by the way, but because of this thing right in front of the face. That's 3 annoying steps up, maybe more if it's muddy, which again, it can often be on this course. Now, if you want to make the end of each lap look good to whomever it is that might be coming out to see you, now's where you want to start running, because as soon as you pass that fence line, people will be able to see you from the end of the parking lot. And still some nice room to run here, and when you make the left turn to go up the only pavement section of this course. That start-finish is also the only aid station on the race, and again, it's only a 3-mile loop, so you don't need a hydration backpack for this. You can go with a large or even a medium-sized handheld, depending on how much water you're going to drink. So there it is, the MC Broken Ankle 12-hour trail race from Dirty Wolf Ultras, Saturday, February the 8th of this year, 2020, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. at George Poston Park in Gastonia. I'm Adam 12. Thanks very much for watching and listening. If you don't feel like doing this race, but you still want to, watch me suffer for a great cause, I'm taking pledges at move4gen with 2Ns.org. You can pledge per mile based upon how many miles you think I can do in 12 hours on this course. And the Move4Gen Foundation raises money to get trail blades and other activewear prosthetics for those who have lost their limbs to cancer. So if you consider that, I'd really, really appreciate it. And again, thanks very much for checking out this walkthrough. Have a good one.